Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla quietly removing vehicle trims, the next big release for Tesla in 2025, Android users finally getting new app features and more. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to Lectric for sponsoring this video. First up today, last year, Tesla introduced support for ultra-wideband or UWB frequencies for customers that use iPhones. This technology is useful for much more accurate phone tracking, which in turn enables several new features and a more reliable phone key, which is the primary key Tesla wants you to use. Support for these features first appeared back in February of 2024 for iOS devices only, but since then it has conspicuously been missing for users with Android phones. Now, almost a year later, data from the latest Tesla app update seems to suggest that support for UWB on Android phones will be coming soon. In app version 4.41.0, code has been found which mentions a new software flag titled Mobile App Feature Android UWB Enabled. This clearly suggests that UWB support will be coming to eligible Android phone owners who also own a supported vehicle. Most new Android phones will have this capability, but in order to take advantage of the update, your vehicle will also have to support it. Most new Tesla vehicles have this support built in, but to be clear, supported vehicles include 2024 or later Model 3s, 2021 or later Model S and X vehicles, all Cybertrucks, and then likely all of the refreshed Model Ys once those get delivered. Enabling this technology allows eligible customers access to a number of great features and improvements. First is, of course, that more reliable phone key, as UWB frequencies allow for better location tracking in relation to your vehicle. That better location tracking also enables hands-free trunk opening, which can be set up via the Tesla app. An added feature that seems to be implied by code in the app is enabling your Android phone to be used as an NFC key, should your normal phone key fail. Android devices can be set up to act as NFC keycards, and since NFC remains active even if the device powers off due to low battery, you will effectively always have access to your car. This is a really nice added functionality, and I could see it being extremely useful if your phone dies while you're out and you still need access back into your car but don't have a backup key. We don't have any insight into when these features will be arriving on Android devices, but given its presence in the code, it seems likely to be coming very soon. This is very exciting for Android users, and I'm glad to see these features opening up further to more Tesla owners. Next up today, reviews and prototypes of the new Model Y are popping up all over the place now that Tesla has officially unveiled the launch edition of this car in most markets. On top of that, Tesla is in the process of phasing out the old Model Y, which isn't actually happening immediately. As a quick overview, the launch edition Model Y is set to start deliveries in March in the US, and it sits above the other three trims of the Model Y at $59,900. That's expensive, but it brings all of the many upgrades that this car has and includes every option. You can choose any color, any wheel, add the tow hitch, choose white interior, and then it automatically comes with the $8,000 FSD package. In practice, if you were going to upgrade to all of these things, it works out to be a good deal, slightly cheaper than current pricing actually, with all of the improvements that this car has. In any case, Out of Spec launched their full review of the new Model Y, and they were able to actually check one out in China. Some things that they noted that Tesla informed them of was that for that smoother ride, it works out to be 50% less vibrations on rough roads. As a result as well, road noise has improved 22% and wind noise has improved 20%. The internal mic has 66% better call clarity, and a big one for me, they say they have entirely eliminated the rear resonance and booming that can happen within the hatch area. That was a particular problem with many Model Ys, so I'm very glad to see Tesla address that. Top Gear and CarWow also launched their reviews, and overall the main details are the same in these reviews because nobody has really had an opportunity to drive one yet. The rear has a number of changes to the way the hatch is built, and the rear glass is now squared off instead of rounded. Tesla released a video of their Giga Berlin factory getting ready to manufacture this new car, and we now know that all factories have officially produced this car. They are all ramping up, likely at different paces, but Tesla working out this release to be simultaneous across 4 factories will definitely pay off. Tesla stores are beginning to put this new model on display across the US as well as other countries, and here's a red one in Washington, D.C. One big thing to note about the front is no Tesla logo. This is a move that Tesla made all the way with the Cybertruck. There's no Tesla logo to be found on that car, aside from small areas like the corner of the glass. For the new Model Y, at least aside from China, where there is intense competition, Tesla has opted to remove the front logo. This will surely make many detailers happy who had to remove and replace this a lot, but it also cleans up the design quite a bit. It looks like Tesla is really going all in to say, our design is unique enough that you don't need our logo, at least in many countries. That said, the logo is clearly displayed across the back with the light bar. I'm also curious how many cents they've knocked off the production cost of this car thanks to that logo being removed. Speaking of that light bar, the texture where this reflects off of is fairly similar to the updated center console on the Model 3 and Y and looks pretty cool close up. Here are a few other close-ups of the light bar in action. The way it glows the Tesla logo is very specific, but should have a pretty unique look on the road. And of course, that piece is set in quite a bit. Photos demonstrate this quite well now. As for the stock wheel, we now have close-ups of how the new hubcaps work. They do seem to have a very specific way of being removed, and I foresee some owners accidentally breaking these when trying to remove them. But the wheel underneath is definitely new for Tesla. I personally like it and how different this design is for the Model Y. I also do like these new covers, even though they're a bit awkward to remove. Over in California, Tesla is out driving with prototype Model Y refreshes, and now the covers have been completely removed. Here's another one out in California. In Las Vegas, there's a Quicksilver Model Y on display, and then there are others in North Hollywood and Colorado. Soon it seems these will be popping up everywhere. When you enter the new Model Y, there's a custom animation, somewhat like what they've done with the Cybertruck logo upon entry. All throughout this car, it's clear that Tesla has taken notes on a massive list of improvements this car needed. Some little things that we're now seeing will make a big difference. For example, if you fold your rear seats in a Tesla, you'll frequently notice that you need to push the front seats forward in order to fold them down. Now the front seats automatically push forward when folding the rear seats, so that they clear without issue. Another issue there would be the rear seat belt catching on the seat. As such, those seat belt attachments have been relocated in the Model Y. Then these are reportedly the fastest power folding rear seats in the industry. Overall, this experience of folding the seats for cargo is vastly improved. One other upgrade is the front camera, which does include a washer. Black is a color that's only available in certain markets for this car right now, but overall it does look pretty good. Many are hoping that this will come to the US soon, and I expect we'd probably see it by the end of the year. Next up today, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Lectric. Lectric e-bikes is one of America's fastest growing electric bike brands, having sold over 500,000 e-bikes in 5 years. In fact, in 2023, they introduced more people to electric vehicles via e-bikes than Ford, VW, and BMW combined. Their flagship model, the Lectric XP, is the third most popular electric vehicle nationwide, just behind the Tesla Model Y and 3, and this is thanks to a blend of accessibility, reliability, and comfort. Lectric's e-bikes are very easy to use, many come pre-assembled, and ones that require it can be assembled in about 5 minutes. Here I am assembling my Express, and then taking it for my first ride. Everything about it is incredibly refined, and coming from a different e-bike, this one really takes it to the next level. Lectric was the first e-bike company to offer hydraulic brakes on e-bikes under $1,000, and they have many incredible options. Most go up to 28 miles per hour, have ranges over 50 plus miles, and their Expedition bike can drive 170 miles on a single charge. On top of that, they have over 75 unique accessories, like these I installed on my bike. I absolutely love how easily this bike changes gears, assists with pedaling, and accelerates with the throttle, among other things. If I had to put it into one word, it would be refined. On top of that, Lectric has partnered with Beast Philanthropy and other groups to better communities by donating e-bikes and helping build better infrastructure. To check out Lectric for yourself, click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen for a free bike cover on any purchase with code SHAW at checkout. While Tesla is very much rolling out this car simultaneously across the world, the disappearance of the outgoing Model Y is in a peculiar spot. In the US, you can still order any of the 3 trims of the outgoing Model Y: rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or performance. Their website also very much encourages you to explore inventory for reduced pricing, all while showing off that brand new model that's coming in March. In every country, it seems the situation is different. In China, you can only order 2 different trims of this new launch edition Model Y, and the old model is only available in inventory. Canada is in a similar situation to the US, but over in Europe, certain countries are seeing a staggered phase-out of certain Model Y trims. Here, the current standard range Model Y rear-wheel drive is officially unavailable to purchase. Likely what we're seeing across the world is Tesla balancing out the launch of this new car while still hoping to sell off existing Model Y inventory. It seems they may be sitting on quite a bit of it. Over in the US, we know that both factories have begun production of the new model, but it seems there's enough inventory to still list each trim on their website. In Europe, though, it seems to be a different story, as they have quietly discontinued that standard range rear-wheel drive Model Y for now. In the US, we'll likely see a similar situation, and it may actually create a bit of an odd transitory period where the base Model Y trim is no longer available. It quietly disappears from Tesla's website, and higher-end trims of the new Model Y are all that are available. In time, though, these trims will return. They always do, as Tesla scales up production and needs more demand. Tesla took the best-selling car in the world and made a huge list of improvements to it, so I'm excited to see what the rest of this year looks like with it. The real test will be once people drive it and how good it feels there. If it's anything like the Model 3 refresh, it should be a pretty noticeable improvement. Next up today, many customers are very eagerly awaiting word on the arrival of Tesla's upcoming rear-wheel drive Cybertruck. This variant will be the cheapest available version of this truck and will bring it into affordability for many more customers. However, in order to reach that level of affordability, it does beg the question of what will have to be removed to bring down costs. The Cybertruck is Tesla's most technologically advanced vehicle yet, and those features play a big part in why it is so expensive in the first place. There has been a lot of speculation regarding what features will have to be stripped out of the cheaper Cybertruck, and now we seem to have our first insight into the real answer. In the most recent Tesla app update, code has been found that seems to indicate some changes coming soon to the rear-wheel drive version once it launches. To start, a software flag has been found that indicates some future versions of this truck will not come with the automatic tonneau cover that comes on all currently available trims. This sliding cover is very nice to protect anything in your truck bed, and also gives the vehicle a nice boost to range when closed thanks to aerodynamics. If Tesla decides to make the tonneau cover manual by default, that would likely be a simple place to start cutting costs. I'd be curious to see whether it would become an option on the cheapest trim of this truck, or if customers will have to upgrade to the all-wheel drive trim if they want that automated cover. Another flag in the code seems to suggest that a version of the Cybertruck may be coming that lacks the AC outlets built into the truck bed. These outlets are extremely useful and offer a lot of utility in many different situations. For certain people, these outlets may be one of the truck's biggest features. They can be used to power tools, charge devices on the go, or keep you going in situations where you may not have power. For example, I recently lost electricity during the ongoing Los Angeles fires, and these outlets helped me keep my essential electronics powered. There's probably a certain subsection of customers who will absolutely be okay without these plugs, but hopefully Tesla at least offers it as an option for some customers who don't want to lose out on that functionality but still want the cheaper truck. While everyone is focused on the launch of the new Model Y, this trim of the Cybertruck might actually be the next big release for Tesla. Model Y trims will see staggered releases throughout the year, and then the rear-wheel drive Cybertruck will arrive, finally bringing this car under $70,000. Then whatever more affordable cars Tesla plans to launch. The Model Y starts at $59,900 today, so it's still not that car, and more should be on the way soon at a cheaper price point. We don't have word on when this cheaper trim is coming, but given slowing Cybertruck sales, it looks like it will be necessary to keep up momentum on these trucks if they can make it profitable as such. So far, these are the only indications we've seen regarding what may be cut for the rear-wheel drive version of this truck, and I'm very curious what else Tesla might decide to strip out. This will give a whole new subsection of customers an opportunity to buy this truck, and hopefully it maintains many of the great features that are on the higher trims. One place they may cut would be the sound system, but still, you should not have a lower-end sound system on a $60,000 truck, so hopefully they don't go that direction. Next up today, in an effort to drive down the high cost of insuring electric vehicles, Tesla has offered their own car insurance for a while to customers in a few states. They offer cheaper rates than many competing brands, as well as the ease of accessing documents, bills, payment details, and more from the Tesla app. One of the key features of Tesla Insurance is their built-in safety score metric. In all states except California, Tesla tracks your driving habits in order to calculate how safely they think you drive, and they'll adjust your rates accordingly. So if you are a particularly safe driver, you can see your Tesla insurance rates drop over time. In a related vein, one of Tesla's ongoing projects is to remove the human element from driving altogether with their autonomous full self-driving software. Eventually, FSD will advance to the point where it will be almost always safer than a human driver. The latest code taken from the Tesla app seems to indicate that soon, Tesla will actually begin to offer insurance discounts to owners who utilize FSD. Decompiled information from the latest app update seems to suggest that soon, time spent in FSD will positively factor into your safety score, and therefore your insurance rate. We don't know when this will be coming or how much it will impact insurance pricing, but it could do a lot to promote adoption of this software. In fact, it may eventually reach a point where purchasing FSD will essentially be a no-brainer. Like I said, we don't know how much using FSD will truly impact your rates, so let's discuss a hypothetical. The average customer pays about $169 per month when they are insured through Tesla's own insurance. The FSD package can be purchased right now for a one-time fee of $8,000, or it can be subscribed to for $99 a month. If using FSD can push your insurance rates down as little as $20 a month, you could think of it as though you are only paying $79 a month for FSD. We don't know how low Tesla would be willing to drop rates for FSD users, but every additional dollar cut is a dollar saved for customers, and also even more incentive for customers to buy this software. It gets cheaper and it brings your insurance rates down. In a more extreme scenario, maybe FSD could end up being free if you're saving that much money by utilizing it. We don't have much further information on this upcoming change, but given the recent advances to FSD, it seems like Tesla is reaching a critical juncture in their confidence with this software. Tesla will be taking more risk by lowering insurance premiums for customers who use this software, and will eventually be assuming all liability when this software can operate without any supervision. That day seems like it will be upon us quite soon, and I'm excited to see how this impacts drivers and their insurance rates. But of course, all remains up in the air until Tesla can really prove out this technology. Next up today, big changes are looming for the electric vehicle world, and Rivian CEO, RJ is weighing in with a cautiously optimistic outlook, even as recent government policy shifts seem to favor the status quo. President Trump has made waves with plans to roll back the $7,500 federal EV tax credit and loosen pollution regulations, reversing key policies that were designed to help electric vehicles compete in a traditionally gas-powered market. These moves come at a time when EVs are gaining momentum, and some worry they could disrupt the progress the industry has made. For Rivian, a company that's built entirely around electric mobility, these changes could pose challenges, especially as they work towards profitability. In a recent interview, however, RJ Rivian's CEO, explained that Rivian's mission wasn't founded on temporary incentives or subsidies. Instead, it's anchored in a belief that the future of transportation is electric, no matter how bumpy the road to get there may be. Scaringe admitted that the potential loss of tax credits and other incentives could slow things down in the short term, but he's confident the industry is moving in one direction, towards electrification. What sets Rivian apart and puts them in line with companies like Tesla is their total commitment to EVs. Unlike legacy automakers, Rivian has no backup plan involving hybrids or gas-powered cars. Their lineup of all-electric trucks, SUVs, and commercial vans represents a singular focus on sustainable, zero-emission transportation. Scaringe also raised concerns about how these policy changes could impact the broader market. He pointed out that some traditional automakers might slow their EV investment if federal incentives disappear, choosing instead to focus on hybrids or combustion engines to protect short-term profits. While this might make sense on a balance sheet today, he thinks it's a short-sighted approach that could have long-term consequences. If you're just trying to make money in the next couple of years, you might think it's better to double down on hybrids or combustion engines, but in the long run, that's a huge mistake. He warned that if legacy automakers hesitate to embrace EVs fully, the US risks falling behind in the global race toward electrification. A slower transition could result in fewer options for consumers, reduced innovation, and missed opportunities in an industry that's rapidly evolving worldwide. Quote, "I say this all the time to friends of mine who run big car companies. Don't stop investing. You're going to find yourself in the 2030s upside down. Rivian, Tesla, the Chinese, we have a full throttle focus on EV. And if you're doing that as your 10% job as an automaker, you're going to be in rough shape in 10 years. This is the view that a lot of people deep in this world seem to share, but legacy automakers always seem to want to avoid. It's a tough byproduct of pleasing shareholders while trying to scale difficult and expensive products, but it's going to be necessary. Either way, it's great to see Rivian's CEO talking about this, and hopefully they get closer to profitability as they prepare for their own launch of more affordable future vehicles. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see more details about the tax credit situation in the US and how long it may be around for, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.